I got a phone call. I'll call her back. This is a perfect example. I needed this. I needed this. You know how guilty I feel that I need this? That I need to take care of myself and listen to myself in this way? That this isn't palatable like some sort of feelings show that's intended to help others by live streaming? That this is not palatable probably to anyone but me? And if you get something out of watching this, then you're welcome. You're welcome to. I'm making them public on purpose, but this is what my journal has sounded like since 20 years ago. Yes, I am that old. This is who I am, and this is who I've been. But I only started doing it publicly because it was almost like a way of grabbing my life by the reins and saying, there's something in me that does not feel like it has permission to take care of myself. And I fall into duty, and I fall into feelings of have to and has to show up for everyone, has to respond the right way, has to be the right version of normal, has to be what I think you need me to be, which made me small and tired and sad and alone and small and tired and sad and alone, and I'm tired of that. And I've been tired of that for years, and that's why this channel exists, because I know that I need to be free to be myself, even if it's not palatable, even if it's not normal. I need to just be free to be myself, and it just really doesn't matter what that looks like. It just doesn't matter at all. And if you get nothing out of this, then why are you watching this? Like, what strange part of you finds it interesting to watch someone you don't resonate with and don't agree with? What strange part of you is compelled by me? What strange part of you is still watching and listening? I don't know. I don't understand that. How do some people as weird as me have fans? I don't know. Do they put themselves in a box? I don't know that many people as weird as me have fans, because unless you're doing the same thing, and then people can come to expect that same thing, unless you're doing that, how could you have fans? Because they wouldn't know what to expect from you. And if you're not going to craft anything and craft a life and craft a brand and craft a thing that can be sold to people, if you're not going to do that, then what are you? Then how can they engage with you? Then how can they enjoy you? Well, I don't want you to enjoy me. I want you to enjoy you. I want you to wake up to you. I want you to be you and me to be me. And if me being me reminds you that you're not being you, then maybe that's what's compelling to you. But if me being me reminds you that you are being you, then that's even better. If me being me reminds you that you are being you, you're just not doing it publicly. If me being me reminds you that this is what you look like too, you're kind of strange and kind of different, and you think you're the only one who's kind of different, and you think that you're somehow like off from normal society, and there's something in you that feels like liberated by watching this, like it's okay to be different, it's okay to be different than normal society, and you don't need to go share it everywhere, because this doesn't win you any friends, and it doesn't win you any likes, and it doesn't win you any fans. It doesn't really do much for anyone. It doesn't do much for me to share like this. But I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for me in the sense that I am becoming me, 100% me. But the sharing of this, the putting this up on a YouTube channel, if my YouTube channel was 100% private, I could still watch it and I could still see this and I could realize that I've grown, then that would be the same process for me. But the piece of the process that is strange to me, that I don't understand why I do, I think that's the Mr. Rogers feelings piece of me. That's the piece of me that thinks, well, what if? What if there's someone out there like me who doesn't know, who thinks they're alone in being different from society, who thinks they're alone in not getting much out of mainstream society, who feels alone in not getting much out of their friendships or not getting much out of normal conversations, who feels alone in a weird sort of boxed in way of having made up a pretend version of themselves, and that's the pretend version of themselves, that's the version that they use to engage with the world. If that's you, then this is for you. Because all those things I just said are things I needed to say for me. And the only real shift I made in the last few years, other than trying some strange things like this JiTR and Rainbowland show, or my authentic show, random videos, or other random things I've tried. But the main thrust of this YouTube channel is me telling myself what I've needed to hear all this time. That it's okay to be different, that it's okay to be weird, that it's okay to do things that are unpolished, that it's okay to be something that's not clear, that it's okay to not be a brand, that it's okay to be a person who's unrefined, that it's okay to meander and ramble, that it's okay to kind of question if you sometimes are slightly losing your mind. It's okay to share. It's okay to not share. It's okay to feel like one thing and then feel a totally different thing. It's okay to do all these things. I mean, I feel like okay is different than a value judgment. It's okay because it just is what I'm doing. I think we spend all this time looking for measurements of if something we do or we are is okay, is normal, but what are you measuring against? You're measuring against other people's normal. You're measuring against what other people are doing. What does that have to do with who you are? Jessica, what does that have to do with who you are? There are circles that I exist in that make me feel small because I'm the only one who talks as much as I do, or I'm the only one who's as intense as I am, and it makes me wonder, like, did I choose the wrong friends? Sometimes I think I did. Not all by any means, but there are certain people that have been like a hiccup for me, like a difficult relationship, where I just feel that my being myself makes them feel small. And I can feel that them being themselves makes me feel small, and I feel judged by them, and I feel like I'm taking up too much space. It's not that many people, but there's a couple, and they won't ever watch this because they don't watch my stuff, and it's okay. It hurts, but it's okay. Most of the people closest to me don't watch these because they experience me regularly, you know, and that's okay. I would feel probably weird if there was a weird pressure to watch somebody's video journal all the time and then, talk with them about your thoughts on it? It would be strange. So that's not the thing. It's more that since I was small, I've used a lot of words. Since I was small, I've had a lot of sparkle. And I feel that there are some people that just, it's too much for them. Even if I'm careful not to interrupt, even if I'm careful to try to take turns and be balanced, it's like, how do you be balanced with someone that you don't naturally balance with? You know, that's the thing that really bugs me, is we're taught to try to figure out how to share space and be good listeners, but like some people don't have nearly as much to say as me, and they don't even want to talk much. They don't want to express much. And does that mean in order to be balanced with them, I should never express so that we're expressing equally? That's effed up. I'm so mad about that concept. And some of these people sit there in judgment, and they maybe don't even know they're judging you, and they look at you and project this thing at you that's like a borderline, like, disgust. Like you are offending them by taking up too much space. But then when you try to give them the floor... Sorry, I'm getting all these notifications. So you try to give them the floor, and then they don't want it. And then they're just as annoyed at you for trying to give them the floor. Are you supposed to just sit there quiet until maybe they feel like talking and just let there be complete silence in the room for like 20 minutes? I don't know. I'm very frustrated with this concept. I don't think the people that do this, there's really only one that's coming to mind right now, but I don't think they know they're doing it. I don't think they're sitting there in their mind thinking, I am judging you for talking so much. I think it's just more an awkwardness and a discomfort with being around someone as bright of a light as me. And I don't mean light in a value judgment way. Like, I work hard, to stay in touch with something that can be uplifting, but I realize that I'm also equally just grumpy like an old man or an old woman who's just like, you know, like I'm not saying I'm a light, I'm in that way, like I'm not trying to make myself better, because isn't silence supposed to also be some kind of wonderful light? So there's so much wisdom to that approach too, but I'm just more talking about mismatching. I'm talking more about mismatching. Like, if you're this and someone's this, and it's like, what? Okay, these could go like this, but I'm talking about alignment. I'm talking about, I don't know. I'm talking about just being frustrated with the things that don't fit me right. And maybe you have things like this in your life too. But I also believe in a world where sometimes, no, I'm not gonna go down that tangent right now. That's not my story to tell. I just really want to learn to focus my time on the people and the situations and the things and the experiences that build me up or that understand me or that think I have value, just being me. The same way that person probably would be annoyed at being like judged by me. I'm not trying to judge that person. I'm just so uncomfortable around being judged by someone, whether or not they know they're judging me. It's just, that's an uncomfortable dynamic for me. Anyway, well, Baker's wife, I'm pretty bummed that you're gone. Best soft pretzels I've probably ever had, including the one I had I think I had one in Munich, Germany, when I got off a train there on my way to Amsterdam from Italy or Switzerland back when I was in college. I spent a semester in London, and they gave us a 9-day break, and they said you should really just pick one place and really enjoy it. And I was like, screw that, that's not who I am. And so thankfully, back then I was really feisty and listened to myself, so thankfully I did. So I got to see like 6 or 7 countries, and we went all over a day or two at a time, and just saw so many places, and paraglided off of a mountain in Switzerland with a guide strapped behind me. Went to Rome, went to Venice, Paris, oh my goodness. A few hours in Munich, Amsterdam, like one of the great adventures of my life. And I wasn't even close to the people I was traveling with. I didn't have anyone to travel with. I was going to travel alone, I guess. That would have been dangerous. I was an introvert back then too. Even though I was feisty and went out to bars and stuff, I was like... My poor parents. I was like 21. This rain is nice. My friend's doing a live stream right now. But I've been talking to a lot of people a lot, and I just really need this time for me. I've been talking to a lot of people online, socially. And I just needed to get out of the house and go sit in my car and be what I always am, except normally I drive an hour south to South Haven, and I can't do that right now, not in good conscience. So I sat by the beach a little earlier, and now I'm sitting in downtown Grand Haven, and I'm just present. It's a Saturday night. I'm in the rain, I'm playing ukulele. This is what I love to do. I know it's weird. And it's okay. To me, this is okay. I wrote a song I really like earlier about tiny houses and how being self-quarantined is kind of like being stuck in a tiny house, and we all thought we'd want those. And that was the last song at the end of the last video. And now I'm just feeling feisty and angry at my pretzel shop closing. I'm supposed to be catching some sort of party or group hang where my dad is playing music really soon. My whole family's going to it, and I haven't even cleared off my phone, and it's supposed to start soon. But I didn't download the app yet. Just really disorganized. But just really overwhelmed today. Like, I was just feeling way too much. So maybe I'll come to the next one. I don't know. I just can really feel that I needed to do this instead. I needed to feel, what do I feel? What am I thinking? What do I want? What do I need? Because I feel like all I've been doing for the last little while is like, no one's asking me to. I just feel like I'm just absorbing everybody else's feelings. Absorbing what everyone else's thoughts are like. Absorbing what everyone else's feelings are like. Absorbing what everyone else's truth is like. Absorbing, 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 absorbing. And I'm exhausted. I don't know what you think of this moment in time. It's changing our lives, and I can feel that you're scared. Well, I'm scared too, but I'm trying not to show it to you. Like a parent for a child, 'cause that's what good moms do. And I know I'm not some kind of mother, some kind of earth mother to you, but I feel responsible. I feel like I can be emotionally responsible, responsive to your hurting heart. It's been torn apart, it's been ripped apart, and I'm trying to do both. Take care of you and take care of me too. Like that show I made all week. I don't know if I'll keep doing it. Do you need it? Do you need me to keep showing up for you? Making dreams come true, not your dreams. I kinda had this dream all along, and I will stay true to my little song, or my way of making little songs in my car, on my phone, in the car, in the dark, with the rain, with this time in my brain. I know I don't sing like singers do. I don't know what's true for you. I'm so tired of being judged by you, or being afraid of being judged by you. But I'm just making this up right now. I didn't write these words down. I'm just singing this song to you. I think it's how I know how to move. I think my insides get frozen in time, and I can't feel what I'm thinking or feeling. I get frozen in time. Do you too? I don't know how to get through to you. Why do I want to get through to you? Why do I want to get through to you? What do I want to say to you? Do you need to become your truth? Do you need to find out your truth? Do you need to take this time to learn what's true for you? Do you need to go inside and learn what's true for you? Do you need to look look inside and find what's true for you. Do you know what's true for you? Do you know what's true for you? Not just what is on the news, but what is really true for you. Do you know what's true for you? Do you know what's true for you? Like really you, like really you, like no one else, but really you. Soul, for your belief in God, or your belief in time, or your belief in life, or your belief in the timeline to space in your brain, all the space in your brain, and the stars in your brain, and your life in your brain, your life's in your brain. If you're lost in your mind, do you get lost all the time in your brain? That's not life, that's your brain. Look around, do you see what's around? Do you see what's around you now? That's life. Look around, do you see what's around? Do you see what's around you right now? That's your life.